Howdy folks, Gabriel here. This video is titled The Emotional Revolution. And to anyone who's been watching my videos and is sort of hearing some of the same things over and over again in some of them, then pardon me, but I do want to get across a absolutely crucial, important element of the healing path and of spiritual awakening and illumination. And that is the importance, the absolutely essential element of connecting with the emotional self, the emotional body within ourselves, what is termed the will in certain circles, located in the solar plexus area, your gut feelings. Because our planet is being dragged down into this environmental destruction and across the board all kinds of imbalances because of our disconnect from the emotional body, from our feelings, from our feminine essence within us that is in all beings. Men and women are both a mix of masculine and feminine. And pardon me, I'm in Jasper National Park here in the Rocky Mountains of Alberta, Canada. It's late spring and there are mosquitoes. So the denial of women around the world is a direct expression and reality of the denial of the emotions and the feminine feeling body within all of us. And so there is a real backlog of denied, repressed, compressed emotional energy within humanity that is driving humanity on the course of self-destruction that we are on at this time. Now, you might ask, what does emotions have to do with chopping down the rainforest, for example? Because I will say that if we were expressing our emotions, we would not be chopping down the rainforests of the Amazon. The reason is because we are disconnected from feeling, we are disconnected from love, and as a result we have these insatiable desires that we are constantly trying to feed and never satisfying because we are disconnected from our essential essence of being. So we are consuming food and various other things like crazy. Across the Western world, people have garages full of junk that they don't need, that they've just bought for some reason, and now sits around in their garage and collects dust, or else they have to pay for an extra storage space for all this junk that they don't need, that they bought, and they don't know what to do with anymore. Our whole civilization is on this binge of consumption that is a direct result of being disconnected from feeling, and thus not enjoying the simple presence of being in this moment, of experiencing the just exquisite, divine, ecstatic joy of being here now in the present moment that is absolutely available to every one of us if we are connected to that and tapped into that. So what needs to happen is people need to clear the backlog of denied emotional energy within themselves in order to reconnect with feeling in general. Because when you express one emotion, you connect more with your emotional body in general. Emotions, feelings, energy is all mixed up, swirled together, connected with one another. It isn't as if you have anger over here, fear over here, sadness over here. Kind of like the colors of the rainbow, you can't actually find a separation point. You can't say that here's red and here's the clear line that separates red from orange and orange from yellow. As you go further in, you find there is no line. It all just blurs together. It's all connected. It appears distinct from a distance, but it is all simply an expression of light, and our emotions are the same. So when you connect with your emotional feeling body in one aspect, you connect with it in all aspects. So in order to connect with feelings of love and bliss and ecstasy, then we need to be connected with our other more difficult, challenging emotions as well. More than 20 years ago, then I started on a path of releasing anger. I'd been to an inner child workshop in Alaska, and there I experienced the personal power that can come about as a direct result of expressing and thus releasing back to the cosmos feelings of anger that are stuck within us. And later, a couple years later, then I was living in Eugene, Oregon, and I would go out on hikes in nature in this arboretum, and I discovered a abandoned barn there where I started, there was like nobody around. I would go into this barn and I would just, yell into the air and just let out anger. And as a result, then I cleared that old denied emotion from within myself, and I was able to come more into the present moment. When I would walk into the barn pissed off about something or other, then I would have this perspective of feeling anxious, frustrated, disrespected, denied, annoyed at the universe. And after experiencing this emotional release and getting that out of me, which was an honest expression of my being, then when I would walk out of that barn 20-30 minutes later, I had a completely, absolutely transformed perspective on life and the world around me. And I was able to fully realize how the world as it appears is absolutely simply a reflection of how we feel within ourselves. And in the course of getting that energy flowing, getting that energy within me moving and releasing it, not releasing it by denying it, but releasing it by honoring it and allowing it to flow, recognizing that anger is simply an expression of my soul in response to life. Anger is the expression of the emotional self in response to the soul being compressed by experiences in life, by something or other trying to deny you, disrespect you, beat you down in some way. And so the response of our feeling body is to push back outwards in order to reclaim our space, our personal place of being. And so anger is not bad, anger is not wrong, it is simply an energy. What people do with anger is oftentimes extremely harmful and imbalanced, and results in very terrible tragedies and accidents. But anger itself is simply an energy, and simply going out into the woods or a barn and expressing that, beating a punching bag or yelling into a pillow, whatever you can do, there's nothing wrong with that. God does not frown on you simply having an honest emotion. Denying it, repressing it within yourself, trying to act like you aren't angry, you think God can't see that? Just because you pretend like it's not there. So you might as well be honest with yourself and acknowledge what is actually within you and let it out. That's being honest. So it's such an essential component of the healing path to honor the emotions, to release them, and to move through them. Now, I seek to be both radical and practical. I don't want to live in an apartment complex, where the person next door is yelling away in the course of their emotional release. That's not a fun existence. I don't want to be, drawn into somebody else's spiritual, conundrum and inner angst. So, in calling this the emotional revolution, I'm not saying that I want to live in a society where everyone is going around expressing their their deepest, darkest shadow emotions, on the street and in the grocery stores and wherever. If I had my magic wand and could do whatever I wanted, that's not what I'm saying. We live in a society. We are individual human beings. I don't want to, bare my soul to just anyone, even though I'm doing it here on YouTube, but that's because I'm assuming anyone watching this is actually interested in this stuff. But we still want our privacy. We still want our inner thoughts and secrets to remain so. So what I'm saying is that we have to balance the realities of the planet in which we live, the realities of our human civilization, our families, etc., with this healing path of coming back into true personal empowerment, and find a way to balance the two so that we are truly coming into empowerment within ourselves while navigating the tricky waters of this strange modern world. So in my book, Kundalini and the Art of Being, then I outline my own path that led me to Kundalini awakening, before and after, what resulted in tapping into the Kundalini energy that lies beneath these buried emotions, and my very challenging process of balancing with it. So I talk about the experience releasing anger in the barn and a whole lot of other stuff. If you're curious to hear some more, feel free to check out my book and or my other videos here. But I am simply seeking to affirm the validity of our honest emotions and to incorporate them into the healing path, recognizing them as fully and completely as spiritual and as divine as anything else. And in so doing, to incorporate lower and upper in order to find true union of ourselves. Take care.